Hello everybody, welcome back and wishing you all happy new year. Let me know what were your new year resolutions, and for mine I have thought of creating at least a video in 2 weeks. This is kind of my new year resolution. I just want to give some time on my YouTube channel. I guess this is the second episode of Walk with SKS, and today we will be diving into a very exciting topic. So what the topic is? The topic is the essential skill and knowledge that you will need to crack any internship this summer. It's January, and you have 4 or 5 months till summer internships. And yeah, it's not just like that summer internship just start in May and so on. So some starts after June and also, so you can slowly learn these. Hopefully you will be able to crack uh, internship. So let's dive deep into this video. First, what are the prerequisites? So I'm making this video. Assume that you have literally zero knowledge, or at least 1 or 2% of the knowledge of how tech, how things works in tech industry. So I will just start as I will think that just you are a beginner. Okay, so there will be 4 sections. First will be like what are the technologies and languages that you should learn. Sorry. Second is database, what type of database you should learn, and third is very essential thing, that is Git and GitHub. We call it version control. And the fourth should be what type of projects you should create so that you can crack the interview of the internship, because generally the interviews are based around your projects and your DSA skills. Now, uh, moving on to the first part, that is like technologies and languages. Like generally, there is a domain that you should be in. Like for me, it's web and web development. There are other fields like app development, and there are like desktop application development, iOS development. Then there is machine learning and Web3. So I will be just focusing on web development because this is the only field that I know. I also know some machine learning and stuff, but I haven't did anything uh, like industry level thing in that field. That's why. So this will be about web development only. So if you are planning to be in machine learning, then just go with Python. You should learn Python. Then some machine learning based libraries like TensorFlow, NumPy, TensorFlow or PyTorch, NumPy, Pandas, and something. Now for those uh, who are just beginners, I will say web development is pretty good field. It's not essential to learn, but you can learn more development also. Now for web development, I will say just start with HTML and CSS. Just give 2 weeks. I guess 2 weeks is more than enough for HTML and CSS. For HTML, you just need 1 or 2 days, to be honest. CSS is quite important, so give your full focus on CSS. I would say not 2 weeks, just 1 week would be enough also if you are quite good learner. And yeah, you can start your journey with there. Just go on, create some normal pay web pages with HTML and CSS. That just looks fine. Just follow how. Just try to clone something, like maybe you can go with cloning a Wikipedia page. That's what I did back then. Okay, or you can try to create a portfolio resume or something with HTML and CSS. Okay, now the main thing, like the HTML CSS is not just a programming language. Okay, so the main programming language here is JavaScript. So you should learn JavaScript and you should have full command on that. Okay, so just start with vanilla JavaScript. I mean plain JavaScript. It's just base version. Then I would say give it almost 2 weeks. First week you can focus on how it works, like learning for loop, if-else, break statements, switch cases, something like these, and how it interact with our DOM and something. You can focus on these field. This field won't take, I guess, like learning this won't take more than a week. Okay, then you can focus on, like in the second week you can try to create a small project, like it's not it won't be reflected in portfolio. Just for your learning, you can create some application like calculator or to-do list or something. It's like I would say just go with calculator. It will give you a better overview of how JavaScript work, okay, in the front end. After, I guess, this will be your 3 weeks, then you can learn Node.js. Okay, don't just give too much time on JavaScript and HTML CSS. These are very basic, and you can learn these things on the go also. After you have a pretty much good idea of HTML CSS and JavaScript from the client side. So what is client side? Client side is whatever you see on your computer, and then there's a server side, that are those are the code that runs on server, and you do not have any idea about what the code is. What, like, you do not have access to the server side things. Okay, most of the web applications backends are written in Node.js, and I would say there are many alternatives like Rust, Go is a major one, and Rust is also booming nowadays. Like, there is very hype for that. But I will say, as a beginner, you should learn Node.js. It will be very uh, like, you can learn most of the thing in 2 weeks. Okay, you can start with Express, creating some servers, and then try to integrate some APIs. Like, back then I learned integrating a weather app API or something. So you can just start with that, and then there is a pub or something. Pub, I guess pub was there, or so these are like templates that you can uh, use to send HTML and CSS files from your server to the client, and these kind of things. So I would say 2 weeks. 2 weeks will be enough. Go with that, and after the end, try to create a to-do list is that details are stored in database, or at least on server side. Okay, back then I created something. Yeah, the to-do list was the thing that I created to get control over my Node.js skills. Okay, now once you are completed with Node.js, or you have at least slight idea how things are working here and there, then you can start with React or Next. I would say go with React, because React gives you um, a proper base of how things are working, because it's totally client side, and you will create a server on Node.js. You will create a web application for client side on React. So first you will learn how client work, then you already have knowledge of how server works. Because when you start with Next, things just gets complicated. Most of the things, like, Next is something that gives you a full stack development environment in just one, you can say, workspace, and it handles both server side and client side things. But I would say for beginners, it's just overwhelming. Okay, so once you have learned React, it's very easy to switch to Next. Okay, like to point out here, between Node.js and React, learning Node.js and React, in the between you can also learn TypeScript. TypeScript is something I just learned recently. Okay, so yeah, I used to be afraid that how TypeScript works. This is something new language, and so you don't have to worry about. Just give it, I guess, 4 days, and you should be able to use it. See, just don't go to a tutorial video and try to learn everything. Okay, you can just learn the basics, like how types works, what are the types, what are enum, what are interfaces, and something like this, how, and then just try creating a project. Okay, like, once you are creating the application, try to incorporate the TypeScript in that. Okay, so for React, you just generally you do not need to like, change the whole code base for now. Like, there are templates already there to start with TypeScript. Okay, so it will be very easy, and since today is era of ChatGPT, so it's very easy to learn anything. Okay, now let's shift the gears to database. Okay, so database are the places where you stores all your data. Okay, all the things that is related to your web application, all the user related stuffs, all the product related stuffs, these all your configurations and stuffs are stored in database. So for database, there are two types of database. There is SQL that stores data in a table format, tabulated format, and then there is NoSQL where data is stored in like JSON or yeah objects. Okay, so I would say as a beginner you should start with NoSQL databases like Mongo. Okay, and yeah, that would like go on try to create a Mongo database, integrate it with your Node.js backend, then create an application where there is a user, you create sign in and sign up authentication, and then user can store notes, their notes there. It, you can say this is a notes application. Okay, so you can try to create this one, and for more advanced level thing you can try to make something like you can share the notes. Like it's totally dependent on you if you want to make, but the basic would be just create a application where user can sign in, have their notes. Once they again sign out there, or once they create the notes, whatever they write they are stored in database, and they can again sign in, or some after some time they can go to that notes and change it. Okay, change stuffs. Okay, so this should be a quite good project, I guess. Go with NoSQL for now because it's easier to learn, and I guess creating this whole project will take you 1 week. 1 week, that's enough. Now, there are two more things, okay? One is DevOps. So, once you have created application, okay, you need to deploy it somewhere so that it's accessible to all of the users, or at least for the person who is taking your interview or whom you are sending the resume, so that they can go there and see your projects. Okay, in real life all the applications are deployed somewhere, mostly on Google Cloud, AWS, Vercel. As a beginner, I initially started with Netlify and Heroku, but like until when you are learning HTML and CSS and JavaScript, you like GitHub gives you, there are something called GitHub pages that helps you deploy your application. Then I learned Firebase. Okay, Firebase is you can say it's made it's a wrapper of Google Cloud, where it provides all the things that you need to create application. So I guess as a beginner you should go with Firebase instead of MongoDB. Also you should go with Firestore. Use everything that is on Google Cloud. Firebase, that is database, Firestore database for your database, authentication for your authentication purpose. Like Firebase also gives you authentication. Third one is Firebase also give you hosting, so that there you can deploy your uh, what is it, deployed application. And the fourth thing is it gives you Firebase functions where you can deploy your Node.js application. So I guess this would be a very better choice. Otherwise you can also go with Vercel. If like you can deploy your React application if you are using it, then on Vercel. Deploy your backend on render.com. For database you can go with MongoDB. Will make you stand out of the box, you can say. It's something that gives like that gives you the preference over other candidates, that is version controls. See, what you should do is get a grasp over version control before everything. Before learning HTML, at least you, okay, let's do it this way. Learn until HTML, JavaScript and CSS. Okay, then learn Git and GitHub. It will take only 1 day, okay, to at least get started with it. See, the importance of these things you won't be like you can say you won't get understand now. Okay, once you start collaborating with your team and other stuff, then like making CI/CD and these things, you can understand the importance of these things then. But yeah, you need to understand at least the beginners of basic basics, how it works, how you should use, how the command line works, how the terminal work. So these things should you should learn before, like these will give you a preference over other candidates. Okay, so this will make you stand out of the whole crowd. Okay, so learn Git and GitHub. GitHub is mostly used for CI/CD. Okay, GitHub Actions and these things, and hosting your codes there. And then for Git, it's something in your computer that allow you to control the versions. You will like I won't be able to tell you how it works or something here, because if for that you will like you will need interface. So I would say just have this in mind and once you are creating projects, then you must try to use Git there, okay, for version controls. At least make branches, and there are some basic level things like how to commit, how to add in a staging area, how to push the code to GitHub, how to manage conflicts. I guess you won't be able to learn this for now, because if you are working alone, there is very less chance that you will get a conflict. If you are using two machines to write code, then can be a case, but otherwise there is very less chance. But yeah, these are the terms, at least the beginner level terms, that you should learn how to, yeah, how to commit, how to add, how to push the code. These are the three things, and this will take more, like less than 2 or 3 days, okay. And you will take like in 1 week and on the go of the learning everything Node.js and React. If you are using it from the start, then it will be very easier for you to learn. Okay, let's talk about our last section, that is projects. Project is something that is really essential, okay. You have to create them anyways to get selected. It will help you throughout your journey. And what happened, yeah, throughout your journey from your intern to getting hired, okay. So your project is something that reflects you, your skills, your expertise. So I would say once you have learned React and Node, first create some smaller stuffs, okay. Like I have already told you, a Nodes application. Then create something that you understand that this is a real life problem. At least try to attempt that problem. For for example, in my case, I tried creating a college notes application where people can share their college notes, okay. It was not completed, but at least that was my idea. I reflected that in resume. I had already created the backend and the stuff for the college notes, but before that I got my internship. That's why I just left it, and then since I already had the experience, so I didn't need to complete that project. But yeah, for your case, you may need and you must have a project in your resume. You can add the notes application, like I have seen on YouTube, like, or here there, like people are creating to-do list. I would say do not go with to-do list. It's a basic level project. You can go on and create project on WebRTC. I have seen this in many videos of Archiraj, so that's why I'm suggesting. Yeah, it's quite a good project idea. Then try to create a clone for Google Drive, or maybe try to create a clone for Google Meet. That would be interesting. There might be some other projects that, yeah, you can only how can I say, you can only think of. So I would say you must have at least two project, okay, to show your skills. So this is quite an overview of how you can crack internship, okay. Especially if you are in tier 3 colleges like me, then internship is quite important for your future, because this will give you experience. And like if you are from tier 3 college, it's very hard to crack a job, okay. That's why I would say this summer, if you are in, at least if you are in second year or third year, I would say this is very important for you to have an internship, okay. Go on, try try to implement this whatever I have told in this video, and let me know if this helps you or something. Please let me know how the video was, and best of luck for your journey. Thank you.